What's up? What's
What's
going on?
up? I'm here.
Like,
You're here.
I mean, we've made it. We finally have gotten to the point where, like, this is where we want to be.
Like, we're here.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys. My
Yeah.
name is Gorgeous,
I'm Joy.
and this is
Afro
Afro Odyssey.
So welcome to the journey, y'all. Like, we are just here to really just dive into all the creativity. Like,
Okay. Before we get into all of that,
yeah.
let's just give the people a little bit of background, who we are,
Mhm.
Like, okay, so Joy, who are you? You know?
So, as you know, started off as a photographer,
Mhm.
found my love through that, went to school at SCAD for graphic design and just been running with it, like fashion, business owner, all of it. So just kind of really diving into that and just like you've been here for a lot of it. So what about you? What's the start? Where's G coming from?
Okay. I don't know if mine is gonna be like that pinpointy, but definitely yes. So Gorgeous is a creative at heart. I started with photography. I always wanted to do YouTube. I always just played with a camera. And then from photography, I started doing music. I'm also an artist as well. So through music, just flow of creativity. That's how other other things came about. But at heart, I love doing anything creative.
Yeah.
I'm a creative, so that's just me.
And that's really like where our bond began. Like, that's how we were introduced. We were introduced through like our siblings.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, what?
You can't just go into the you gotta ease it. Okay.
You spice it up.
All right. So, guys, Joy, I was like, I've seen her clothing before and seen some of the stuff that she's done, but we were introduced, like she said, through our siblings. I'll let you tell your part of the story, then I'll tell my part of the story.
So what? I don't know if I was in high school or middle school. I was either like 8th grade, 9th grade. Like it was early still. So we were still very young. We've known each other from back in the day in Delaware. If y'all know anything about Delaware, it is hard to like find your place of like, especially when you have a goal or like want to be different. It's like really hard to kind of, I don't know. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right? I probably could explain it better.
Okay, so I think what you're saying is like, in Delaware, it's a small city, it's a little bit over state. State. It's a little bit overpopulated, and it's small. So everyone knows each other, you support who you support, you don't.
Yeah.
But to say we have any creatives out there, I think like a few others and us, we were really doing it to say, wow, like we came from a small city and we see all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. And like my sister one day was just like, oh, like, can I say your brother's name?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
She was like, oh, you like, cause I've met your brother a couple times. And she was like, oh, Markel, like his sister does photography too. I feel like y'all should hang out. And like I'm a little weird. I was awkward, shy. So I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, who is this? Like, you trying to like help me make friends? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, okay. I mean, it's a photo shoot. I love doing creative stuff. Like, I'm a go. Like, let's just do it. So like we hung out and we like we were talking about photography and photos and kind of nerding out, but like we were also getting to know each other. And I was like, okay.
Do you feel like it was? But do you feel like it was forced?
No.
Like, you felt like it was natural?
Yeah. Like I feel like they knew what they were talking about. Like they were like, all right. Like
we would get along.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, my brother was just like, hey, and this is how he throws everything at me. He's just like, hey, this is somebody that's dope that you need to be connected to. Y'all need to cross paths. And from that point on, we've been really good friends. We've always kept it business, and then we started building a little bit of a friendship. And then that kind of dives into how Afro Odyssey came about. Yeah. And did you want to, or did you want me to?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about Atlanta. So I went out to school to Atlanta. She was in Atlanta for her music. And we just were like, yo, we're both out here. We haven't seen each other in a while. Like, this is after COVID. So like, you wasn't really seeing people. And I was like, yeah, like, let's go out. Let's do this. And like, we met at the park. Was it Piedmont Park?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was Piedmont Park. Mm-hmm. But we met up and like it was just like vibes. Like it was, you know, the same type of just like we get along. But I feel like that was the first time we really got like,
and we're way older now. Yeah, so it's a little different, you know.
Yeah, and like we knew people, but like we were really the main connection.
Right.
Like it was like someone from back home. I think that's really what the feeling was.
Yeah.
And from there, like we like would talk more often. We would go out here and there, and then we kind of like just a couple months ago, I moved back to Jersey, and we were just like, yeah, like she gave me a call, and I'm gonna let her the mindset behind the call because I just got the call. That's all I was there for.
Okay, so I was just, you know me, but I just sit down and just have ideas, right? Yeah. But it needs to make sense. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, who could I partner with and also have a business type of friendship relationship where we understand and we balance each other out? And I was like, Joy. So I gave her a call one day. I remember I was sitting at the keyboard and then I was like, I have an idea, but I don't know what the idea is. Like I said something like that, you know, I was like, I need help with ideas, but I want to build something. Mm-hmm. That's all I said to you. I want to build something. Yeah. So what we did was we started having like meetings. I was like, let's set up a meeting for next week, you know? And we just started throwing ideas at each other, you know, from, we even talked about like saving money to start an app. Do you remember that? Like we were having conversations about like, and we always wanted to keep it around music, but like we were like, yo, should we save money, start an app? Like what should we do? And then we were like, let's utilize what's free. Social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, which TikTok, you know, is just taking over like, you know, so social media. So it just flowed and we came up with Afro Odyssey. But just to really dive deeper into what Afro Odyssey truly is and why we built it and what it really stands for, you know, I would really just much say it's a platform that highlights, you know, creatives' journeys, you know, in the Afrobeat space, from producers, DJs, artists, to even our behind the scenes people, photographers, videographers, directors, writers, you know, these people that really make up the culture, number one, this part of the industry, you know, we wanted to tell more about their journey instead of just, hey, I'm dropping a single next Friday, or hey, I'm going to be at this show, you know, like what is it? Like, what did you go through to make that record, you know? So,
and I think like, especially that phone call where we was just like talking and coming up with ideas, a lot of it was really just like, yo, like we have our own journeys of like how we're moving through our art and like how we're trying to get ourselves out there and learn and grow at the same time. It was just kind of like, it made sense. Like, we always have talked about music. It was just like, I think behind the minds of us, like we disagree, but at the end of the day, we agree. It's like, we have a mission, we have a goal. We're like, this is what we're working towards to do. Of course. And I feel like we just connected all the little pieces where it was like, okay, we agree here. Let's put this all together. And it just made sense with Afro Odyssey. It was just like a perfect thing of like, where we're like, well, let's tell everybody's journey. Like, you know, it's great to talk about your own, but you know, other people need platforms to talk about their journey as well. And I feel like that's kind of really like the glue, you know, we see the artist, but you don't, you know, who's looking up the choreographer? It's like, who is that choreographer?
Exactly.
It's probably some of your favorite dances come from that person. Right. So I just feel like, you know, just telling the journey of all artists is like really important. Yeah.
And I was just going to add on to what you were saying. I didn't want to lose my thought. I was going to say, bro, I think that what it truly is people don't truly dive into what they love. You know what I mean? Like if you love an artist or you love what you do, you're going to wholeheartedly dive into it, you know? And for us, I know I wanted you to really, really tell them, because I don't want to say it, but Joy, like you're not African, but you know so much about the culture. You're so like culturally influenced. Like, so just tell them about that. Cause like, you know, that's crazy to me.
So this is going to be her first time hearing it too. But like,
what?
Honestly, what it came from was Beyonce's Black is King. And let me tell you, I was never a Beyonce fan like that. Like I was like, everybody don't kill me, I'm a Beyonce fan now. But like, I was like, oh, Beyonce's cool. Like, she's not my favorite, but she's cool.
Mhm.
Like, and then I watched Black is King during COVID. Like, it was on Disney Plus, and it was giving out free Disney Plus, and I'm like, oh, what's on?
Yeah.
And I just kind of was like, yo, like, this is a cinematic masterpiece. Like, just visually, it was just amazing. The sounds, just everything about it was just like, I literally watched it like 4 or 5 times. And then from there, I just did a deep dive, like a crazy deep dive. And I would be in the living room during COVID with my friends, like, you guys are gonna learn this dance with me. I'm putting on Johnny by Yemi Holiday.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo,
what you know about that?
I'm like, yo, y'all learning this with me, okay?
Yeah.
It was just like, for me, it was just fun. Like, especially during COVID, a time where it's just like, you're stuck in the house, like you really could just fall into like a depression or something. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up and learn this. And it was just really lively music that like I felt like brought out a different part of me that like from culture of like R&B and rap, it was just something totally different that I feel like I was missing in my personal music catalog. So I really enjoyed that, and just kind of like, I don't know, I just really did a deep dive and just like loved everything about it, and just was like, I want to watch and see and like be a part of this as an outsider looking in. But you are in the community. Like, this is your home. This is like, you are part of this. So like, for you, what's your experience of how like it's became such a big genre?
Okay. So I'm Liberian and Sierra Leonean, right? And I have so many Nigerian friends, African friends, period, but like just Nigerian, the culture. And as Afrobeats started to grow, like the country Nigeria just started to really take over. And then Piano came from South Africa, and we'll talk about more about that. But like, I really saw the sound evolving in front of my eyes. Yeah. It's not just being African. It's not just being like, here in America, first generation Americans, because our parents were born back home and we're born in America, and you want to learn about the culture. No, like I truly loved everything about my culture, from the food to the dance to the clothing. And I still feel like I don't know everything, So with that, it just took a lot of me. And then I started creating music, and I wanted to like learn more about, how actually things were made, like what type of drums are played in certain countries, like, so for me, African music has always just been in my blood. But the way Afrobeats is like thriving right now, I was like, okay, this is actually amazing. Like, our countries are like, our home is being highlighted. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like, especially when, Beyonce did her whole thing, it was like before even like it was big. And so for me, I was like watching it, be like, yo, like, this is great. Like, I'm glad everyone is loving the music that like I feel like I just got put onto. So it was fun watching how like it's turned into this like huge genre that everyone is like, and it's not a genre. And I think that's also part of like, we'll get into that in a whole nother episode.
That's what I was about to ask you though. I was about to ask you something.
Yeah.
What did Beyonce do? Because I don't know.
So she did an album for The Lion King, and then she actually went to Africa, and she did with a whole bunch of different artists. I can't go through the list right now, but she did it like with a whole bunch of different artists, and it was very based like in the sound of like Afrobeats, but she used many drums, like ampo, piano, everything. So she used a lot of different sounds and mixed them together, and it was just like, I think also visually seeing it as well, and seeing the culture and seeing how like rich everything was, it was like
creatively inspiring.
Yeah. So it really inspired my own art, and like how I see colors, and like it inspired my own art. It inspired my ears. It inspired a lot of different things. And I think it was definitely a change for me of like how I see art and how I saw the world. And especially being African American or Black American, it's like, like, it's a different story. So I think seeing that story in that way was very different for me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, with that being said, there's so much to talk about. Like we'll go like, for hours.
That's why we have more episodes for y'all to watch.
Yeah, of course.
So y'all have to come back and see and get into the journey of Afro Odyssey. And, you know, we're going to have artists and guests come on. We're going to have more about our own stories.
Mm-hmm.
And especially she's an artist. So we have to hear more about her journey on that and just working on her own music and working with producers. So we just have so much insight that
there's
I feel
so
like,
much that's about to happen for us.
Yeah,
Like,
it's about to be great.
How you feel good?
I feel amazing.
I feel good because this has been a journey from the start.
Yeah.
But to know that we're sitting here right now and we're shooting this and we're having fun and we're doing what we love, like that's what it's all about. So and that's what Afro Odyssey, like that's what we try to portray every single day, and that's what we stand for, you know, the journey of everything.
Exactly.
So we thank you guys for tuning in. Is there anything else you wanted to add on?
No, I feel like this is perfect. This is the journey. Like, this is just the beginning. This is the start of a long journey, and it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. So I hope y'all keep tuning in and watching, and yeah.
Well, thank you guys.